Hello everybody, how is it going? My name is Lucas and welcome to Amps of the Axe FX3. Today, we're checking out something that was recently added, and that is going to be the JCM 800 2203 and or JCM 800 100-watt Marshall head. And guys, if you're first time here, if you've been here before, make sure you are subscribed. I do lots of cool stuff here. I do Axe FX tutorials, mixing reviews, and I do giveaways from time to time. I don't want you to miss any of that cool stuff, so make sure you are subscribed. So let's jump right in and check out the JCM 800 2203. If you would like a history of the JCM 800, Sweetwater has an awesome write-up on it. It talks about when it was used in the 80s by Slayer and Zach Wild, and how it was Marshall's first master volume amp. As you can see, this is from the 59 Super Lead. It has 2 volumes right here, and it has 4 inputs. And then on the JC 800, you just have 2, and you have, you know, a master right here. And it goes over like all kind of stuff, and it walks you through. It's actually really cool. If you want more information on that, definitely check it out. Or you can hit up the Axe Wiki, though I don't think the Axe Wiki is going to be this in-depth with it. So let's check out the 800 2203. We also do have the 50-watt version of the JCM 800, and I'm gonna do a comparison. You have high and low. That high and low refers to the inputs. So the high has a 2.7K gain stage in it. It gives you a little bit more input, and the low is obviously a little bit more low. So IR wise, we're gonna use an ML Mega Green. It's some of the best greenbacks in a Mesa cab. Drive wise, we're gonna be using the Maxon 808. Guitar wise, we're going to be using my Anderson Cobra. It has Anderson pickups, HC3 in the bridge and HC1 in the neck. And I will play a bunch, and we will see what they sound like. I'll do drive on and drive off. Alright, let's get to playing. and that is going to be the JCM 800. I just want to say, I am not the Marshall connoisseur at all. I'm not the Marshall connoisseur. I'm not even talking right English. I am not a super duper Marshall connoisseur, so if I say anything that's wrong, please correct me in the comments down below. So I really do like the 800. It's a Marshall, but it's kind of, you know, it's based on a plexi, but I like it a little bit more than a plexi because it's a little bit more flexible, and it has that Marshall sound, and it sounds really good. And when we were going back and forth between the 50 watt and the 100 watt, I mean, you could really tell the headroom difference on the 100. It was a lot more open. The 50 watt is really good. It just feels a little bit more stuffy, I guess you could say. But we have so many Marshalls in here. Like, it's very, we have reissues and clones. It's very easy to get that Marshall sound if you're definitely going after it. It may sound kind of controversial, but I don't exactly know how Slayer used these amps for high gain, because like look on the drive. Like, I almost never have to put any drive on my overdrive. I almost never use the drive knob, but I had to use it here to kind of get it to where I wanted it. It's pretty much like the perfect classic rock tone. Like all the stuff I grew up listening to in my dad's truck on classic record, like Foreigner and all of that stuff in that era. It does that tone well. Like even Boston and stuff like that, that does that 100% perfectly. I think they used Marshalls. It's just kind of what it reminds me of whenever people are playing that. And like Rush, I know Rush used Alex used some Marshalls back then. So for me, it's paramount using it with a drive to get kind of that like rock tone is what I mean. But if you're going for like edge of breakup stuff, it's absolutely perfect for it. It sounds really good and it sounds really clean. I just pulled a little bit of the mids out of it, and I was able to kind of dial it in. Like, I dial in mostly everything else, and it came out perfectly, because whenever I usually dial in plexes, I usually like dime the mids a little bit, but I didn't on here. I didn't really touch the master volume, and I find whenever you push the gain up, it kind of it stays controllable, but it gets kind of I don't say unusable, but it gets kind of muddy, and you lose kind of a little bit of the attack. The low input, I don't know if I could ever see myself using the low input. So the whole idea behind the amp, it was that high input was for like low pickups that were like low output, and then the low was for pickups that were high output. But I find the high is just better. It gives you more of that gain stage, and you just get to rocking. All right, guys, I think that's gonna wrap things up for the JCM 800 2203 and/or 100 watt. This is new to firmware 2304. I'm glad we're getting new amps. We're still getting new amps in here. We got the 100 watt stealths. We got the 100 watt stealths. We got the JCM 800. We're still getting new amps in the Axe 3 and the FM series amps. And I mean, we're still like 4 or 5 years into the Axe 3, and we're still getting new stuff. So that's great. So guys, if you thought this video was cool, leave me a thumbs up. I'd greatly appreciate it. And if you haven't subbed, you really should. And guys, I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.